So, there was a time in my life when I was in the sixth grade. Is there anybody here in the room tonight who's in the sixth grade by a show of hands? Yeah. Now, I don't want to brag tonight, but when I was in the sixth grade, I had a really, really cool style. Like, I looked handsome in the sixth grade. Any other fellas in the room tonight think they look pretty good for a sixth grade? You know what I'm saying? I will say that you might look good, but ladies and gentlemen, you do not look this good right here. You know what I'm saying? My style in the sixth grade was to wear the baseball cap with like 100 choker necklaces around my neck. And I don't know why, but there was one girl in the sixth grade who thought I looked good. And she became my girlfriend in the sixth grade yeah. And it was a pretty serious relationship. By middle school standards, it lasted quite a while, about 5 or 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a long middle school relationship. Unfortunately, I cannot remember if her name was Kaylee or Carly. I can't remember her name. But I will tell you this. At breakfast, I asked her to be my girlfriend, and she said yes. By gym class that afternoon, she told me she would no longer be my girlfriend. And I have to stand up here before you tonight and tell you that it was entirely my fault. You see, I thought that now I had a girlfriend. I don't want to brag, this was my second girlfriend in my lifetime. But I thought that because I had a girlfriend, I needed to impress her. The only problem, you saw the picture, I wasn't that impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was kind of goofy looking. I wasn't very funny. But you know what? I did know how to do one thing. I knew how to bully other people. I knew how to make fun of other people. And I knew that what every single girl loves is a guy who is mean to people, right, ladies? No? You don't? Man, maybe this is where this whole story goes wrong. You see, at breakfast, I asked her to be my girlfriend. She said, yeah. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to pick on somebody who is not as cool as I am, and I knew exactly who that person was going to be. It was Kyler. And let me tell you, Kyler was weird. He was like Spencer from the broadcast, you know what I'm saying? He was a weird kid. He rarely showered, and he always smelled bad, like he had been at church camp for 3 days and hadn't taken a shower. You know the kind of smell? I smelled it in the dining hall earlier today. He was weird, he wasn't funny, he wasn't very cool, and I thought that if she's going to like me more, I need to make him seem less cool. Because I knew that girls love that sort of thing, right, ladies? Really? Yeah, this is probably where it went wrong then. So I knew the perfect opportunity to make fun of Kyler in front of my girlfriend, because Kyler, myself, and this girlfriend of mine, we were all in the same gym class together. It was in gym class that day, we were playing basketball, the 2-on-2 kind, you know what I'm saying? My teammate was my good buddy, Jared. Kyler was teammates with somebody else. Jared and I were way better basketball players than Kyler and his teammate, and I had the perfect opportunity. You see, Kyler was going in for the layup. He was going to try to make a little swish right there, you know what I'm saying? But not in my house, right? So, Kyler goes up for the layup, and I go up and I swat that ball across the gymnasium. And I turn and I see my girlfriend in the bleachers. She's standing, she's going, yeah, baby. You know what I'm saying? She's feeling it. And I thought, this is my moment. I need to capitalize. I turned around, I found Kyler. I shoved him to the ground, and I said, get some. Ladies love that sort of thing, right, ladies? Man, that's where it went wrong. Yeah, that's where it went wrong. Yeah, because that was probably the worst day of gym class for me. I lost the basketball game to Kyler. I got in trouble from my gym teacher, and then at the end of class, she broke up with me. Worst day ever. You know what I'm saying? Man. When I was in the sixth grade, I was pretty obsessed with Drake myself. I really, really liked me. And if I had to guess, there's probably some 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in the room tonight who are really obsessed with themselves. For me, I wanted to make myself look cooler, and to do that, I wanted to bully somebody else. I bet that, hold on. I bet that there's some of you in the room who try to do similar things. Maybe you don't bully other people, but maybe you're obsessed with how many followers you have on TalkTick and friends on Chapsnight. You know what I'm saying? It's what? It's what? Oh, you get the point, though. You care so much about how many people like you, because the most important person in your life is you. Is you. Well, when I was in the 6th grade, the most important person in my life was me. And I didn't really love other people very well. Mix, I came here tonight to remind you of this. If you don't hear anything else tonight, I want you to hear this. God's grace transforms the way we love our neighbors. Jesus is telling a parable. Wow, it's pretty lively in this room tonight. I am excited to be here. There was a man who came up to Jesus, somebody who wanted to know an answer to a question. And he asked Jesus this question. The question that he asked Jesus was, Jesus, what must I do to inherit eternal life? And what he really wants to know is, Jesus, what do I got to do to be on God's good side? Jesus says, well, you know the answer. Why don't you answer the question? And the man says this, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind. And love your neighbor as yourself. And Jesus says to that man, bingo, you got it right. This is what we're supposed to do. Love God with everything that we are and love people like Kyler. You know what I'm saying? This man who came up to Jesus and asked him that question, what do I have to do to inherit eternal life? He asked Jesus a second question because he really wasn't sure what was going on. He said, Jesus, I have a second question for you. And Jesus says, yeah? What's that question? And the man says, who is my neighbor? I want you to pause for a moment and be silent. I want you to ever so slowly lift your head up toward heaven. Look up with your eyes open. And as a prayer to God, I want you to ask him this question on the count of 3. Who is my neighbor? 1, 2, 3. My hope tonight is that God brings somebody to your mind that you are to love. Now, let me define what I mean by love tonight, because I know there's a lot of people here at camp who probably have their eye on someone special. You know what I'm saying? My wife is here tonight. We actually met in youth group. I'll tell you the story real quick. I was going to do some pranks with my friend. Has anybody ever thrown toilet paper in trees or stuck forks in grass? You know what I'm saying? I was doing that. I had recently started going to church, okay? And I went with my church friend. His name was Taylor. And Taylor said, let's go prank some houses because this is what Christians do. And so Taylor and I were going around, we were pranking houses. He said, hey, these people go to our church. We started pranking their house. We get caught. We get invited inside, and they're having a little get-together, a little party. And I'm sitting there on the couch. And the most beautiful girl that I had ever seen begins to walk down the stairs. And I'll tell you this. Hold on. As she walked down the stairs, the heavens began to open and the angels descended down and the angels began to sing, can you feel the love tonight? And I said, I can. And she said, I don't. No, I don't feel the love tonight. But 2 weeks later, we started talking. You know what I'm saying? So we got married. And now we have 2 kids. And we were in the same youth group. So fellas, what I'm saying tonight is that there is hope for you, just not this year. Wait till you're in high school, okay? No girl wants to talk to you this week. I'll tell you that much right now. The kind of love we are talking about tonight is not romantic love. It is a sacrificial kind of love. I hope tonight that God brings to your mind not the person you have a crush on, but the person that you often ignore. The person in your life, maybe your youth group, who is in pain. Maybe somebody that you know whose family is going through a divorce right now, or somebody in your circle of friends who is lonely, or maybe somebody who has an illness, somebody who is in pain and needs help. Because I think that's who your neighbor really is, the person you're supposed to love. And I think this because Jesus tells a story. And he starts telling the story, and it goes like this. A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. My friend Ethan is going to come out tonight. Would you please come out here? My good friend, how are you doing? Would you tell everybody your name? Ethan. Ethan is going to represent tonight for us the man who was on a journey. I found Ethan at camp, and he had this cool stick, and I said, there is nobody else who represents a traveler better than my man Ethan. Ethan, the only thing is that your journey did not go so well because they took your stick, Ethan, and they took it and they beat you over the head with it, and you can die right there, or you can fall right there. You're not dead. You're just down, okay? You're just down. So Jesus sets up this story, and there's a man who has been traveling, and he has been beaten up. He is hurt. He's in pain. He needs help. Ethan, would you yell for me? Help!
Help!
See? He needs help. Luckily for my man Ethan, there are people who are going to be traveling down the road. The first person to come down is the priest. Can you send the priest out, please? Priest, would you come here? Yeah, there he is. Oh, yeah, there he is. Yeah, there he is. Come on, priest. Priest, what's your name?
Eric.
Eric the priest. Oh, say, sup, priest.
Sup, priest.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So Eric the priest comes along the road. This is what happens. A priest, what's his name? Eric. Happened to be going down the same road, and he saw the man. What do you see over there?
A dead man.
He's not dead. He's just almost dead.
He a helpful man?
Yeah, he's actually been yelling help for you, and you notice him that he's yelling help. So say hi. Okay, you said hi. Hi. Okay. Now it's getting awkward. You keep saying hi to him. Okay, he's dead, and you're just looking at him. Now stand over here, Eric the priest. So a priest walks by. There's also a Levite. Would you send the Levite out, please? Now, a priest is like a religious leader, kind of like a pastor of the Jewish people. A Levite comes. Come on, Levite. Yeah. A Levite is also an Israelite. He's not quite a priest, so he's not necessarily as religious as this man, but he loves God. You know what I'm saying? Like, they both love God. They're cool. I mean, check out their glasses. They're cool, right? What's your name, brother?
Marcos.
Marcos the Levite. Marcos the Levite comes walking by. This is what Jesus says in the story. A Levite, when he came to the place, he saw him. What do you see, Marcos the Levite?
The priest.
Okay, yeah. You see him? What about over there?
A helpless man.
A helpless man, yeah. Because nobody's helping him. But you hear what?
Help.
I just stepped on your leg. I'm so sorry, man. He's really hurt now. All right, Marcos the Levite goes over here. So you have a priest and a Levite. They both see the man. There's a third person who comes down the road. Can you send me the Samaritan? I need to give you a little bit of history. These people are Jews. Don't step on him. Okay. These people are Jews. They're people who worship God. They do not like Samaritans. The people that Jesus is telling the story to were likely Jews. When they heard that there was a Samaritan going down the road, They'd have probably been like, oh, this man's just going to walk on by without even noticing. But no, listen what happens. A Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and he saw him. What? You have 2 pairs of glasses on right now. What do you see?
I barely see anybody, except I do see this helpless man laying on the ground.
You see that helpless man. Stand right there, my friend. So what has happened is there are 3 people who have been walking down the road, and all 3 people saw the man. You might be wondering tonight, okay, if I'm supposed to love my neighbor, maybe God has even given you a name already. What do I need to do to love my neighbor? Friends, I need you to say this after me. I need open eyes. 1, 2, 3. The priest, the Levite, and the Samaritan, all 3 of them had open eyes, and they saw the man in pain. I'm going to ask you to bow your head in a posture of prayer for just a moment. Go ahead and bow your head. Tonight, I want you to say this prayer. This prayer will be a name. Maybe God has already brought that name to you. It's the person in your life who is hurting. They're probably not laying on a desert road, but maybe they're lonely. Maybe they're bullied. Maybe they just need a friend. If God has given you a name tonight of a neighbor that you need to love, on the count of 3, quietly, I want you to whisper that name. 1, 2, 3. God has given some of you in the room tonight open eyes to see someone like this man in pain who needs help, who needs a friend. Jesus continues the story with the priest, the Levite, and the Samaritan. First up, the priest. Jesus continues the story. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, you jerk, he passed by on the other side. So he saw the man in pain, and he walked around the man, not helping the man. He walked on down the road, and he left the man. You can go ahead and leave the stage. I still love you, but yeah, that was mean. The man who was listening to Jesus' story would have been perplexed by this, because the religious leaders of the day should have been the first to care for people who were in pain, like this man who's been laying on the stage for 5 minutes. But he just saw him and walked right on by. Then the Levite. Well, maybe the Levite will help. A Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, what does that say? Passed by on the other side? Why would you do that?
I just.
See ya. They passed by on the other side. Now, they saw the man in his pain. They saw his blood. They saw his broken body. They saw him in his pain, and he needed help. And then they walked right on by. The man who's listening to the story that Jesus is telling is thinking, man, nobody's going to help them because there would never be a Samaritan in the world who would do such a kind thing. But he's surprised by what Jesus says. A Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, Jesus says he took pity on him. I told you that the first thing that you need to love your neighbor in need is open eyes. The second thing is an open heart to feel their pain. Open eyes to see their pain, an open heart to feel their pain. This is what it means when Jesus said that the Samaritan took pity on him. Hold on. Shh. I want you to get quiet again. And in a posture of prayer, just like you did a moment ago when you whispered their name, I want you to pray this prayer after me. God, move my heart toward. And then on the count of 3, I want you to say that same name. 1, 2, 3. Open eyes to see their pain, an open heart to feel their pain. But there's something else, because if the Samaritan just saw the man and felt bad about it, then he wouldn't have been any better than the priest or the Levite. Man, I have seen people in pain. I've seen Kyler in pain. And I knew that he was hurting. I saw it. But I didn't even take pity on him. In fact, I added pain to his life. I don't know how you've treated the person that God has brought to your mind. Maybe you've treated them just fine. But if all you do is see their pain and feel their pain but do nothing about it, then we're no better than the priest or the Levite who just walked right on by. There's a third thing that you need to love your neighbor. And it's open hands. And open eyes to see their pain, open heart to feel their pain, and open hands to heal their pain. The Levite had more than just an open heart. He had open hands. This is what Jesus said. A Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out his own money and gave it to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expenses that you have. Are you kidding me? Think about how awesome this man is. He went to the man. Go help him up. Go help him up. Come on, googly eyes. He helped him up. He took him to an inn. And then he went on his way. But before he went on his way, he helped the man, didn't he? Would you guys give a round of applause for the Samaritan and the man traveling? Can I borrow this? You guys can go ahead and head on back. Thank you so much. I need you to repeat this after me. Say, open eyes. Say, open hand. You guys are so good. You corrected me. Let's start this over. Say, open eyes. Say, open hearts. Say, open hands. I told you before we started with that story that if there wasn't anything else that you remembered from tonight, I want you to remember this. God's grace transforms the way we love our neighbor. The story that Jesus told that's called the parable of the Good Samaritan, it's a story that represents an even bigger story. Because the reality is that you and I were the ones traveling the road that day and we got beat up. Oh, the setting is different. It's not a desert road like we saw right here. It's actually the entirety of the earth that fell victim to an enemy called Satan. And he was coming to destroy and kill and steal all life from anyone who had life in God. And he tempted us to sin, and we fell, and we were broken. And God, he had open eyes to see our pain. And he had an open heart to feel our pain. And through Jesus, he had open hands to heal our pain. God's grace through Jesus transforms the way we love our neighbor, for we were the ones yelling, help! We need help. Shh. We were the ones who needed it, and God sent his son. I remember in the story that Jesus was telling about the Good Samaritan is that the Samaritan took money out of his own wallet and paid the innkeeper. He took his own money to pay for the man's healing. Do not miss this parallel, my friends. Look at me. Jesus paid for our own healing with his own life. He took his body and he laid it upon a cross. And in his death, we find life. We find our healing. He came to us to heal us. I want you to get back to a posture of prayer. Bow your heads. We've prayed tonight that God would tell us who our neighbor is. We've prayed tonight that God would open our eyes. We've prayed tonight that God would move our hearts. I want you to repeat this after me. Pray, God, how can I help? And then on the count of three, I want you to whisper their name. 1, 2, 3. Father, tonight there are a bunch of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders who just lifted up names to you. These names are people that you have put on their mind. People in pain, people who need help. God, the story of Kyler and I didn't end in 6th grade. When I became a Christian, your grace through Jesus transformed me, and you allowed me to become friends with the man that I used to bully. Father, would you make this story, the story of grace, a reality in the lives of every student who whispered a name tonight? Father, we see your grace in Jesus. Would that grace transform us to love our neighbors the way that Jesus loved us? In his name, everybody said,